All right, what's up, everybody? So today is day 11, I believe, of creating an original Bob Proctor style speech of at least 8 minutes until somebody hires me to speak. You know, vacation's going great. I'm tired. You know, I'm always going a little off the wire in terms of how much sleep I get here. But it's a great place. I've been enjoying myself. But you know, I just want to apologize in advance for some of these. I think the rest of the week are going to be a little frazzled, going to be a little off the cuff, going to be a little bit, I don't know, not as organized as I might like, but I've told myself I'm doing this and this is what I'm doing. So as I will state at the beginning of every video, no AI was used in the creation of this. This is purely the product of my creative imagination through my studies. So let's get right into it. Good afternoon, everyone. It's a little rainy here today. Thankfully, this actually quieted down, hopefully for the next 8 minutes. And it got me thinking about plans and visions, about cycles and rhythms again. And this is because, you know, when it's raining outside, you just kind of want to sit inside and chill out and let things come to you, you know, rather than going out into the world and doing like so much of us are used to. Excuse the train, excuse the cars, excuse the drops, excuse it all. In this context, I want to step outside of some of the things we've talked about, principally visualization and being specific about what you want. Now, I teach that the universe is made up of vibrations and that all of your hopes, dreams, and fears and other emotions rest on a specific vibration, and that the achievement of these things, positive or negative, rests on the degree to which we place our mental activity there. Like creates like. When it comes to visualization, we visualize ourselves as already being at that point. I want us to think about that point right now, all right? I want us to consider the deep ways in which money still feels like a block from us getting there. I want us to think about how our objective to attain money is blocking our creative flow of energy, because when the thought energy is not directed towards the specific desired end, even if that end seems to need a significant amount of money, we lose ourselves. We lose ourselves because we start to build an image of how something is going to manifest. We start to visualize a too specific way of getting to the desired end. We start to use our current paradigm as the guide for how we think something might be possible, and we start to build visualizations as to how that will happen. You do not need to know how something will happen. In fact, the more you try to game the system and figure out exactly how something will happen, often the more blocked you will become. The universe wants to deliver it to you, but it will deliver exactly what you seek. And if you're not living in that space, you know, the universe requires that you live in that space for your visualizations, rather than necessarily living in the process of visualization and looking at how things will happen. The shortest journey to where you want to be is to live in that space and leave the rest to God, to use your imagination. It requires a great degree of faith, and the bigger the goal, the more faith is required to allow it to manifest, since the process for a larger goal to manifest can be so unique and beyond our current paradigm and current imagination, that, and even random, that trying to manipulate that in any way can completely throw it off. Bob used to use phrases like, "I'll do that once I get the money," and that is a great phrase. I want to rephrase it to give a slightly different meaning. If I'll get the money, then I'll do that. This reframes it because it takes a more practical approach in that money is set as a goal. We make the decision to get the money and then we will go do that something, rather than the first statement, which is more waiting for the money to appear. But the same problem comes up. When you really have a vision, a strong desire, and you think you need money to do it, you're really spiritually castrating yourself in many situations. Because chances are you aren't going to be energized in the same way. You aren't going to be in love with what you're doing while you're acquiring that money to go do what you really want to do. You're going to be thinking about what you really want to be doing while you're going to acquire that money. And I want to state quickly that I don't want to discount money as a sole objective. While it can be motivation in and of itself, if you're at that point, you know, in your life where that's the only thing you really do desire. But the thing is, once, you know, for me, once the base needs are met, I start looking past that, and so money doesn't have the same motivational force, right? If you're at the point where you feel you really want to do something, and you don't do it because you don't have the money yet, that's when you're spiritually holding yourself back, all right? And I don't want to discount the idea of planning strategically either. There's a whole chapter in Think and Grow Rich dedicated to this, but we have to become more aware of how these plans are manifested best. What usually happens to people who are really falling in love with their vision is that the plans of what to do in the moment come from those spaces of living in the place, of living the purpose in their imagination, rather than sitting down and saying, I'm going to find the plan to get me there. When you do stuff like that, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to figure this out. Yeah, today I'm going to find a plan to do that. You know, not necessarily bad, but that's often bringing us back to the now, to the current state, you know? And you're trying to operate from that state in order to realize your goals. That will never work because you're still on the vibration of the current paradigm. And you will fight. You'll come up with this. You'll come up with that. It won't work. You'll sit down and try again. You'll come up with another idea. It's frustrating and it often feels like you're running in circles. And you are. I also want to talk about faith and focusing on the positive. When I started my bodybuilding journey, I instantly started to visualize myself winning first place. Going up to the podium, standing in the center, trophy in my hand, being the best. Even getting the plaque that says Ryan Sweeney, OCB Pro, you know. I'm not going to say that I was perfect in my habits, but I was on the treadmill every day for 45 minutes, maybe 40 sometimes, visualizing and feeling myself in that spot, doing it, being it. But it didn't manifest like that. Certain things take time, and the point I make here is that you don't know the journey. If you lose faith after the first time something doesn't manifest, don't give up. Don't throw away the philosophy. The universe will test you. That's a guarantee. And what I realized is that by setting such a lofty goal for myself, yeah, I didn't win. But damn, I placed in a really impressive spot for my first show. I came in second in my category. And I came in second the next time. I came back much better that second time. I didn't win there either. I'm going to do the same thing for my third and so on. Faith needs no proving. Once you feel it, you won't want to feel anything else. You won't want to feel that fear anymore. It doesn't even matter where you find yourself. I could be broke. I could have no money in my bank account, you know? Faith has to be the state because it's just a way more comfortable place for me to be, you know? And I think that when we really take the time to develop that higher faculty, you won't want to be anywhere else. And so it just becomes a comfort in a way. So you let the universe bring you whatever you need next, and you do the right thing as you are guided, while continuing to hold that vision of what it's really like when you're already there. Truth is, if I could get a natural pro card at my third show, that would be insane, right? After only a year and a half of training, it would be insane. I'm so thankful for the fact that I didn't get it either, because it gave me the time to continue to improve, to dedicate myself more to my craft, and to face the failure and focus on the positive, while also accomplishing great progress. You see, everything is both good and bad. Left, right, up, down, you know? Yin, yang. And so, dark, light. We have the ability as humans to focus on the positive of any situation, even when it's the darkest of dark, right? And that is why we just need to be thankful regardless of what the universe sends us, regardless of our visualization. See, if you're losing your faith after something isn't accomplished in a certain timeline or the way that you were thinking it was going to be accomplished, it's a reflection on your higher faculties. It's a reflection on how you're utilizing yourself, and it's an opportunity to look deeper into yourself. And if you turn away at that point, and Think and Grow Rich has often stated that people turn away right before they're about to make that big breakthrough, right before the true blessings are on the way. And I really think that in a spiritual sense, you will be tested to your ultimate ends, and if you can push through that, that's where the blessings lie. Another strategy you can use is, if you have really large goals, is to set intermediate ones that are related. It might be easier to have faith in those, to picture yourself there. The only thing to remember is that there are three types of goals. Known goals, things you're sure of yourself accomplishing, probable goals. And for me, that's running my book business. I know how to run that business. I have no desire right now to expand it to a much greater thing. It supplies me with my income, and that's cool, right? I know how to do that. So that doesn't really excite me anymore. And so I don't need to spend much time on that. I do that. It's a nice routine thing, but I'm setting different goals right now while letting that one sit and be a great little source of income, right? So that's our known goals. Then you have probable goals, goals that you can logically think through and manifest and are confident in being able to do them, despite maybe not having done them before. And then third is the unknown goals. And Bob would call these the A, B, and C type goal. The C type goal, an unknown goal, goals that you really don't know how to get, yet you know you want them, all right? Same way what I'm doing right now. It's something I know I want, but I have no idea what the future holds for what I'm doing right here and how it might manifest and if it would ever manifest. who knows, maybe I'll do this for 3 months and nobody will hire me, and I'll eventually reach a decision about where I want to go next. But I'll still be so thankful for the dedication that I had in doing it for all this time. And maybe I'll do a lifetime and nobody will ever want it, right? So you just got to be prepared for whatever comes onto the horizon. Bodybuilding is a C-type goal for me, not just because of the timeline, but because of the way I'm doing it. I have no coach, no other person with me on this journey other than people that support me in nice small ways. But ultimately, I'm doing my diet, I'm training, I'm sleeping, and I'm the one preparing pretty much every aspect, other than Cassius. Shout out to my bro Cassius, who helps me with posing. All right, I'm doing it all myself. And the start, I had no idea if I was good enough, if I could diet like that, if I could prep for a show, how I would prep, etc. But I knew I could do it, and I knew that I would, and I maintained that vision. And I know you are capable of the C-type goal, and it's not as scary as it seems. Once you instill faith, even the C-type goal, like I said, you know you're capable of it, because you're transmuting that fear into faith. Fear is the opposite of faith, and it leads the way for all the other blessings to come through. All right, so I know this was a little all over the place. I hope you got something from it. God bless, and I will talk to you all tomorrow. All right, yeah, we hit it.